Yo, what's happening? What's happening? It's your boy Benny Hertz back with 101.1 The Culture. And today, I always say I got my dog on here, right? Because I talked to a lot of my homies that blessed me with the opportunity to chop it up with them. But me and my dog go way back, man. And if y'all don't know, we talking to one of the legends of back in the day that kind of helped pioneer this bass game
Right,
and
right.
and had him shaking that thing.
Uh-huh.
My dog, L.A. Snow, man. What's happening with you?
What's popping with you, baby?
Man, I'm good, man. It's a chilly day, but the sun is out.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
now you
Man, it was freezing, boy. This thing was cold down
I know you told me you was getting your workout on still though. You don't miss no iron days though with that
here.
snow, right?
I tried to. I went yesterday. I didn't go today though. I
That's what's
snuck
up.
in there
That's what's up.
yesterday. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it up best I can.
That's what's happening, man.
For
Well,
sure.
listen. First off, thanks for locking in with me. And I really just kind of wanted to give you your flowers a little bit. I know a lot of these podcasts they give you your flowers, but I think some of our legends really don't get the credit that they deserve for
Right,
being pioneers and
right,
number one, putting out some good music, right?
right.
You know,
Yeah.
music that a lot of people have been able to listen to for decades now. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
And people don't get that type of run with music no more, man. You got 2 or 3
Uh,
years or maybe a summer and they out, man. So
yeah.
your music has been able to stand the test of time, and that's just the the good music, the feel good
Right.
vibes, the party
Right.
vibes.
Right.
And it was an era that you can't deny. And so for those that are tuning in that don't know who you are, I want you to introduce yourself just a little bit. I just want you to tell them who you are, where you're from, and just a little bit about your background because we're gonna dig a little bit into your business. I'm not gonna hold you all day. I know you're a busy man, but
Yeah.
I want to make sure that the people get a chance to really know that they
Right.
talking with one of the OGs of the game.
Dig. Well, I mean, uh, L.A. Snow. I was actually born and raised out of Compton, California.
Right,
Uh,
right,
Ended up graduating high school in Memphis, Tennessee, Whitehaven, and left there. Went to join the service, joined the military for a hot second. That's how I ended up in the South. Um, and once I got out, me and my partner at the time, Prio D, that's who I ended up doing Daisy Dukes with. Sat there and wrote that song out. Went to a spot down in Florida where he was from, and did the original tracks to it. And uh, lo and behold, a few million out the box. That's where we at now. We sold
a
a whole
few
lot of,
milli, man.
yeah, we sold a whole lot of more than several million out of off that Daisy Dukes record. Um, and then after that, ended up jumping in on the So Best Bass All Stars. I did the What's Up with
Right.
me and Player Poncho. That was a cult classic. That one jumped off. Uh, then I wrote and did the original production for the That's Just My Baby Daddy for B Rock and the Biz.
Yeah, that's the homie.
Yeah, did that one, and did another one with Southside Connection, Raise the Roof, which was a dance song, another party deal.
Hey,
Uh,
man.
Put my hands
So
on a couple of good joints in my time.
yeah, absolutely, man. Classic joints, classic joints,
Yeah,
and you
and
know,
the beauty of them songs is like I can still, I'm real selective on them, but I still go out and I'm able to, especially like with the commercial success of Daisy Dukes, I'm still able to go out and do some of these big festivals and shows like that. I was just in Cali maybe a month ago, and I'm on stage with like Millie Vanilli, Lisa and Coke Jam, stuff like that. So that record was such a huge success. It allows me to get on stage with when they do the I love the '90s tours and things like that, and some of the big festivals. So it
that's
still
dope.
works
That's
for me.
dope.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I know you said you from Compton. I was born here in
Dig.
Alabama, but I was raised in LA, and I've
Okay.
also lived in the Bay Area.
Okay.
So you living there for the bulk of your youth, and
Mhm.
then moving at a young age and settling down in the South. How was that culture shock for you? Because I know it's different for me.
Well. It was different when I left from Compton to go to Memphis.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to Memphis first, so I finished high school there, and it's just just culturally, it was I'm not gonna shoot down. It was just I was so blind to going to the South. I was thinking they were like way back in time and stuff like that. I was just didn't
Yeah.
know. And so, I think I cried and took shit back then. It was me, my grandfather, and my step pops at the time. Hell, we drove one of them U-Hauls back to Memphis. That was like a 3-day trip back then. Boy.
Man, it's still a long trip, man. I went to Cali a couple of years ago, man, and that car ride something serious.
Boy, I did. I think I made that trip in the car maybe 2 or 3 hours. I won't do that shit again. That's a long haul, boy. But I settled up in Memphis pretty decent. It's cool for what it was. Like I say, finished high school down there and shot down south, joined the military to get out. And it was the path I was on, so it worked out for me.
Man, that's a beautiful thing. So when did you know you had the rap bug?
Well, even if you go back to my high school in Memphis, cats knew. I'm the one beatboxing in the hallways, and I think I got wrote up one time for beatboxing too loud in the hallways. So cats knew, and then back then, I had your little high school group with 2 of my partners back in the day, Marcus and Corey, and I'm still cool with them 2 cats to this day. There's another third guy who passed away years ago. Chris was our so-called DJ. Okay. But we used to rap around little parties, neighborhoods and stuff like that, little church things where we was gonna be these little rappers. That's back then when you had the little Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde suits on rapping and shit.
Oh wow! you going back to them old school Dr. Dre days?
Yeah, that's what we thought you was clean. So probably in high school people thought I was gonna jump somewhere in music, and it just ended up working out for me. So like I said, ended up going down Augusta, finishing that Daisy Dukes record, and it jumped off, and it worked out.
Now you say it just worked out. There's a lot of things that happen behind that, right?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of steps to it. I say work out to shorten the story, but I say me and Creole, I think we drove shit down to 10 hours to get down to Belglades, Florida. And, on that original Daisy Dukes record, when we brought it back, it's just a date a little bit, but, we recorded that original song on a 4-track, bounced it down to a cassette tape, ran it back to Augusta, and we started playing in the teen club down there. And I think the guy, DJ Kiki, first guy, I don't know what, we probably gave him some money, whatever, to play the record, whatever. He bumped it on there a few times. And, a couple of weekends like that, and the record, it just start catching. When that Come On Baby came around, people just start catching it. So now you got folks trying to, hit their stations and ask where this record is. And we literally didn't have a record at the time. It was just cassette. And so we got some cats down there, ended up cleaning the record up, and professionally recorded the record, and literally was selling that shit out the back of the trunks. That's when they say, actually popping it out the back of the trunks, going store, consignment there. We were literally doing that. And by the time it jumped off on the radio station in Augusta, now of course when it started spreading out a little bit, you start getting a little attention, and labels start calling to sign us. We were shooting people down because we were trying to find the best deal, but we ended up going with a record label back in California, and they took the record, and we ended up reshooting the video to it, because we had our version clearly. Right. On the video jukebox, and it was straight, some ass shaking going on with that one. And then when this label got it, they cleaned up a lot, because back then, MTV, BT, they just wouldn't play those type of music. That was too risky for them back then. And what and for stuff they play now, you'll see how calm ours actually was. But back then, it was still too rough for the radio. So they did a commercial watered down version, which wasn't my favorite vision for the song. But in terms of commercial popular, it did what it was supposed to do.
They tried to turn a dollar.
Yeah, and they watered it down. Had some country shit in it and everything. It wasn't, But back then, you only got so much say so when they put you on these type of stages for these videos and all that. Everything you get to California, everything. The set is already done. They already made it up. They already got the people in there. The script is already wrote out for it. They did the treatment for it. So you just in there. You just going along for the ride.
Good. Now listen, can you still hear me well?
Yeah, it's a little. I hear some little humming.
Is it choppy?
But I can hear you good. No, it's not choppy. It's just airy. Sounds airy a little bit.
Okay. That's not my normal stilo, but I don't want to switch the mic up since we in the vibe. I just want to make sure that the people can check everything.
Yeah, it only comes up when you stop talking. You can hear a little air in it.
Okay, cool. So check this out. When I think about you and that movement, and I got a lot of homies. Uncle Head's my dog. I done rocked out with the guys from 69, T Bird, all those cats. Rest in
Mm.
peace to some of those guys that were really pushing the envelope of that sound.
Uh-huh.
Was that just the vibe that you were on once you made that first record, or was there any type of influence that made you say this is the type of music that I want to do?
No. I mean, if you want me to be 100% honest, I didn't even know what bass music was when I moved to the South. I didn't know what bass music was. Didn't have a clue. I didn't know that was the I didn't know that was the term for that type of music. I've heard
Okay.
of like in Memphis, I heard of stuff like Sade back in the day thing. He's probably one of the more popular. I definitely heard of him, but I didn't know that type of music was actually called bass music. Yeah, you can hear the
Okay.
air.
Cool. Cool.
I
Cool.
didn't know that was the name for that type of music. So it's just something that was our first record. It was heavy 808 by definition. Now Creole's from Florida, so he was more familiar with the term based music than I was, and that's just the way the Daisy Dukes record worked out. It wasn't something I was targeting to be a bass record, but coming out of the South, structured the way it was, the tempo it was a bass record.
Okay. Cool. And then that just kind of carried you on to all those other big records that you did as well.
Yeah, well,
Kind of.
once I caught that vibe, I was on it. The high energy, high tempo, because that's kind of like my personality on stage anyway. So it just worked. Once I jumped on that one, what, it wasn't no slowing it down.
Man, that's hard too because see, I done seen you perform live, and as the youngsters would say, you kind of turned up there.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep high energy. I mean, that's just my normal. If I get up there, I'm gonna go up there and command my stage. I just love the energy like that. I was never
And
quiet on stage.
that's a good thing that I think about now because I don't even see a lot of the artists now that are going up there, especially in rap. A lot of them don't have that same type of showmanship
Yeah,
that we used to see back in the day. And I'm not knocking them because there's some great ones out there now too
right,
that do exemplify that.
right.
But what advice could you give to some of the upcoming acts that are really trying to get into this business when it comes to showmanship and creating the right song?
I mean, for me, like I said, my music is very similar to my personality. In a lot of ways, my performance is the same way. I see a lot of cats. I think they so dependent on a hit record to come across on stage. They don't know how to. You got, it goes back to that same thing. Say you got microphone controllers. I know that's a basic or generic term for it, but that's literally what it is. The master stereo microphone controller.
Right.
They want to say, and a lot of people just don't have that stage, but they really depend on a hit record to carry them on stage. So they'll introduce a new song on stage, and they'll lose their crowd. They don't know how to carry a crowd with a new record or whatever. They really dependent on having a hit, something that people are familiar with to carry over their show. I know how to break a new record on stage. One, I'm not going to do a whole 2 hour song of a new record. I'm gonna do it in between bigger records and kind of slide it in, introduce. It's just for me. It's just knowing how to set that your performance up. Some of these new cats, uh, I'm just not sure how they go about it. Just not
And
not for me.
I can definitely see that. So moving on, you've gone through a lot of different phases, but then I just saw you online. You caught that move with the Cadillac Chronicles.
Oh yeah, and that thing blew up, man. I so much engagement on that. I look at some of the other folks that's been on there. It's been like, I mean, crazy on my end. It jumped off real well. I mean, people got to see me. They probably hadn't seen me, especially on that platform, in a while. So it was kind of shocking to a lot of people like that. A lot of people I would see on there like, damn, where he been? I didn't know they were still out there yet. So there's a whole lot of comments like that, like where he been? Didn't know they were still out there. Didn't know that was the guy. Oh, I thought that was Two Live Crews. Stuff like that. But yeah, the Cadillac Crown, it was a good thing. It was fun. It was a good deal. Yeah, that cat's
Cool.
blowing up. Brian, a cat named Brian. Yeah.
Yeah, and shout out to those guys because I've seen a lot of people on there, and it looks like he's very particular about the people that are going on there. It's not just like, hey, I can buy my way on the Cadillac Chronicles. It looks
Yeah,
like he's
nah.
creating that content.
Yeah. When I saw Rhino Eyes, then I knew. I was like, yeah, this cat blowing it up.
Yeah.
And we start seeing people like that. I knew. Say, oh yeah, let me jump on this real quick. So
Man, well, I was glad to see you on there. You know, as soon as I saw my dog, he up there turning for the people. He's turning up for the people. And so I know you said you've been doing a lot of touring and being able to go to different festivals. And do you still get the same feeling and energy that you did when you first started when you go up there now?
Yeah, it never that high, what I like to call it, that high never dies. I'm never nervous. Regardless of where I am. Once it's my turn, it's my turn. Once my intro music come on, I'm just zoned out into whatever it is, wherever I'm at, whatever it is I'm doing. I don't have to go through this whole ritual and do X, Y, Z. It's just like once my music start, I'm good. I'm good.
That's hard. That's hard. Well, listen, I don't want to hold you too long, but if people want to get in touch with LA Snow and they want to throw a bag at you to come and do the right at the right price, how do they hit you up, man?
Yeah, I get a lot of people,
all that stuff.
Yeah, I get a lot of people that hit me on Instagram at I am LA Snow. That's I am LASNO. No W. Love people put the W on there, but it's I am LA Snow. You can hit me on Facebook, Snow Brown, TikTok at I am LA Snow. So they can hit me on either one of the inboxing messages, and we can get the bookings put together and do what we need to do. Get out there with it.
Well, man, I'm super excited that you got a chance to jump on. I know you got some things on your plate today, but as a legend and as a fan and as a person that is still in the business, man, I salute you for everything that you're doing.
I appreciate it.
For representing the culture the right way and just being yourself, because there's no one can be you but you. And you are one of a kind when it comes to what you've done for the culture and for hip hop. And I don't even know how to just put that into words. When I think of my time when I was listening to the music, and I'm Cali through and through. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm West Coast raised.
Right.
But you couldn't deny that. Oh, kick them. you couldn't deny it. You couldn't deny it.
Yeah, it was crazy. Let me tell you this real quick, though. It's crazy because I remember a story where we actually went back to California to perform on the show. And I've been to Cali. I performed many times in California. Did stuff with Will Smith and everybody out there. So, but this one particular show I remember because we flew out of Birmingham. We left Atlanta, went to Birmingham, did a day show in Birmingham. No hotel, jumped on the plane, went all the way to Cali, and we were the only group that represent technically from the South. Okay. Every other group on this show, dig what I'm saying? You had Tupac, NWA, Easy, Ice-T, Ghetto Boys, Rodney O, Joe Cooley. It was all gangster groups.
Right.
All gangster groups. So all these cats in black, LA Cats, the coast and everything. That was the whole thing. So here we come with these bright ass colors. I had female dancers and shit. But when I tell you, when we hit that goddamn stage and I brought the damn girls out, shut that shit down. We shut that shit down. We shut it down. It was crazy. It was like all gangster groups. And we were the only one out there that rep like that. And they took it 100%. They ate it up.
That's what's up, man. So listen, man, enjoy your day. I appreciate you locking in with 101 today. And when I get ready to hit the A next month, we got to lock in. I know you've been doing some different music too, man. You sent me some of the rock music that you was doing, so they don't know that you are a real musician. It ain't just
a
musician.
Like they can actually that EP we did was a live. It was a live EP. It's called Bass Rock. So I actually went and actually caught musicians that actually authentic rock players. I didn't want to get hip hop cats who, I can play rock music. I went and got authentic cats who that's what they do. And right prior to the COVID thing, I released the EP. It's a 5 song EP out on iTunes. They can go pull that up. LA Snow Bass Rock. And I was going out on the road with Moses Mo from Mother's Finest. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Mother's Finest. So I was going out with these guys. They would let me open up the show, courtesy of Moses Up Mo. That's my guy, man. He let me open up some of these live shows. These are alternative rock cats.
Yeah.
It was totally separate, and nor did I associate my bass music with it. I just wanted to see how organic and authentic I could run with this. And it started to catch to the point where the promoted lady he was using ended up calling me to book me on some shows on my own so I could perform. When I was 4-piece band, it was an old 4-piece band, we was live on stage with it. And then I get a call maybe 2 weeks prior to that show. She said, "Hey, we got to cancel the show because there's a virus going around and they shut the club down." I'm like, okay, well, cool. We'll push it back next month. Of course, next month went to next month, 2 years later, cats got to get back to doing what they doing. And although I love to perform that rock stuff, it's because, like I said, it's high energy, just like this bass. So it doesn't compromise how I perform. It's the same high energy, but me doing my the Daisy Dukes, I can run that all day. It's just track music. I running this bass rock. That's a whole 4-piece band. So it ain't like I can just call these cats up. Hey, let's go do a show tomorrow. It's a different ziplock when you talking about rehearsing and getting timing together, and these cats getting back on the instrument. So it's just not as easy. Maybe one day, but I hadn't even been pushing the envelope on that right now.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, man, again, thank you so much for tuning in, locking in with me. Like I say, as soon as I hit back to the A, like I said, I'm coming out there next month. We got to lock, and we're gonna make something happen.
Dig, holla at your boy.
All right, for sure, man. Salute.
All right, y'all be easy, man.
All right, one on the culture, the legend, LA Snow. Oh, kick them
daisies.
We out.
All right, yes.